Hi, my name's Jane Gow and I'm Director at Clearcut Financial Planning. I set Clearcut up 13 years ago, and as part of it we set up Women and Money team. I've always felt passionate about advising women, empowering them to feel confident about their financial futures, and I've always been passionate about getting more women in the financial planning profession. Currently, there's only 17% of women that are financial planners. And for me, I've worked in financial planning all my working life and feel as though it's been a fantastic career for me and has really worked well with family as well as building up the business. So we've done graduate schemes every year where we've taken a graduate on. They haven't all been women. We're very inclusive, but we have done campaigns to try to attract more women to the profession, because it's always disappointing when you get so many more applications from males and very few from women. We also, from a client perspective, we run our Women and Money team brand, and we are trying to educate women to feel more confident about their finances. We recognise women have a number of hurdles that they need to overcome through their careers. We call them the life wobbles, which are divorce, bereavement, being a good daughter. And we don't just talk about money, we talk about their circumstances, what they're trying to achieve. I find as a woman financial planner that women are very open about talking about their situations. So as part of our Women and Money community, we run various different events throughout the year. We have two flagship events, one on International Women's Day where we get a guest speaker in. Good afternoon, and on behalf of the Clearcut Women and Money team, it gives me enormous pleasure to welcome you today to our 4th International Women's Day event. It gives me enormous pleasure to welcome you today to our International Women's Day event. To welcome you to our International Women's Day event. And we've had some fantastic speakers. We've had Linda Davis and Eleanor Mills. We've had 2 of the 4 ladies that row boats across the Atlantic. We've had Helena Morrissey, and we organise these every year for 80 ladies to come and join our community. We also organise a smaller event in September, which we have as a networking event, and we also get a great leadership type role model at that event and talk to them about their careers. I'm incredibly honoured to introduce our fabulous guest speaker, someone who truly embodies the history and ongoing fight for women's rights, Helen Pankhurst. We also have our quarterly newsletters that are targeted at women and the sort of things. And it's all about empowering women. It's not just about clear-cutting clients, it's all about education and getting them to make better financial decisions and feel confident about investing and about their money. What I've really enjoyed in my career is mentoring the graduates coming through on our graduate programme. One of my missions has been I'd like to leave the financial planning world in a better place than maybe it was when I started. And I really feel very confident that the next generation of financial planners we've got are exceptional. I've mentored a lot of the team, in particular Charlotte, who's one of our senior financial planners, who's been with us for 10 years now, who by the age of 30 was a chartered financial planner and a fellow. She was one of 6% of women who were authorised financial planners on the FCA register and giving direct financial advice, which is fantastic. And she really does do a brilliant job of advising client despite her age, and the feedback that we get is incredible. So I think, we've demonstrated as a firm that we've broken down the barriers about age doesn't matter to be a great financial planner and a woman financial planner in what's predominantly a very male world and male environment. I'm currently working with a client who's in her late 60s. She's a retired dentist, and she actually came to me, and one of the first things that she said, which nobody had ever said to me before, was that she doesn't have a living relative. She was an only child, and although she'd been married, she'd been divorced and didn't have children. And she was worried about what would happen to her estate and how she was going to live her life through retirement, especially as she got older, that she, wouldn't have full capacity to look after what was a very complex financial situation. And, the sorts of things we've done for her is going above and beyond, is for things like she was worried about when she goes away, the property, a house, and, she would like a housekeeper to sort of do all the things. So We put her in touch with a few people to help her find a housekeeper so she could go away and her dogs were looked after. We've done much more of what I would call a concierge service. We've helped her with philanthropy and who she would like to leave her estate to when she dies. She's got a couple of children that she's fostered, or loosely adopted over the years that she also wants to support. There were disadvantaged children. And we've talked through all these circumstances of her living her best life and doing all the things that she wants to do, alongside if something happens to her, is all the money that she leaves over going to go to the right people and be in the right hands? And that takes a huge amount of time and listening skills to be able to talk that through. And again, the feedback that we get is, absolutely fabulous. Sometimes what we find in financial planning meetings is there's an awful lot to go through with clients in, what could even be a couple of hours of a meeting. So what we try to run is educational events throughout the year that clients can go along to and then bring their own questions to the financial planning review meeting, or just ask, the financial planner about on things like wills, power of attorney, care, their investments. So we run these at a local hotel, and we also open them up to the wider community as well. And they can come along to those, and we might have like a will month where we'll do a presentation about why a will is important. We'll put wills into the news articles that we send out to clients each month, and just encourage people to start thinking about their wills.
It's really clear to everyone that Clearcut Financial Planning was never just a financial planning business for Jane. It was about creating a legacy for the profession and bringing through next generation advisors for years to come. I was a graduate 10 years ago, and I'm now a chartered financial planner and fellow of the PFS. 50% of the members of the team at Clearcut have come through the graduate scheme, all in different avenues of the profession, from financial planners to client managers to head of client experience. She's given up energy and time to put into creating a graduate scheme and promoting next generation planners within this profession. She's always, rooted for everyone to do as much CPD and development themselves in work time and outside of work, and given everyone the flexibility to do so. She's really passionate about doing that. Without Jane, as a woman entering the profession, I probably wouldn't have felt as confident at entering such a male-dominated profession. She's been integral into my own development, and very grateful to her.
When I joined Clearcut, I knew exactly that this was the place for me, mainly because there's a huge driver in supporting women here, clients and colleagues. And the Women and Money initiative was something that I was incredibly passionate about, and it was a huge reason for joining Clearcut. Jane has consistently demonstrated, whilst in meetings with clients, that she shows such strong empathy. We do have clients that are often in vulnerable circumstances, and Jane does put a lot of effort and thought into supporting these clients, going through not only a financial difficulty potentially, but also navigating an emotional challenge that's in front of them. So I've seen Jane certainly help a lot of people through not only financial difficulties, but difficulties in life in general. When I've witnessed Jane speaking with clients in meetings, and particularly when it's difficult circumstances, she certainly reflected that onto me, and I'm particularly more detailed when it comes to clients in vulnerable circumstances. With regards to inspiration, Jane has not only showed to me that she can navigate these technical financial difficulties, but also become a massive support for clients navigating difficult circumstances. Jane has dedicated so much of her time throughout her years in the profession to other people, and not only investing in them with regards to examinations, but also in them personally. I know that Jane also dedicates a lot of time with regards to building interpersonal skills within the client meeting room. She goes above and beyond for us as graduates, not only in trying to push us forward and progress our technical knowledge, but also pushing for emotional intelligence with regards to client meetings.
Jane has never focused solely on her own success. She's always been committed to improving the profession around her through mentoring others, sharing her knowledge, and hosting educational events that bring together clients and professionals. She has spent decades setting an example of professionalism and integrity, and is someone that people look up to across the profession.